Welcome back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. We needed some aura music just to calm us down. You know what I mean? Just to bring the vibes back. Need that aura music just to soothe everything out. By the way, we got to go through something here real quick, JC. We've been so focused on doing our job here that we have neglected the fact that hold on. We are over 100 in the chat, over 200 in the chat, over 300 in the chat, over 400 in the chat. 400. There you go. Shout out to King Booker World joining as a member as well. Appreciate that, my boy. Appreciate you rocking with us, man. Hey, man, if y'all want to join up on the Breeze membership, man, you get special perks, different things like that, special emojis, all that good stuff, man. So tune in, becoming a Breeze super fan. All right, let's keep this thing going.
Yes, sir.
Because it was not all bad yesterday. While there was, of course, the ultimate bad, I do think that I came out of this game feeling more, I don't want to say confident. I feel like confidence is the wrong word. Feeling like you found something that you can replicate moving forward for the rest of this season. And that starts with one Thomas Brown. I think that Thomas Brown came out yesterday and he just did simple better. I don't think that, and this is why this excites me, because listen, we've all watched we've all watched, right, when the team gets fired, or when the offensive coordinator gets fired and there's a little bit of a pop, right? Where the head coach gets fired and there's a little bit of a pop because all of the players go, we hated this guy. Now we're happy. And when we're happy, we play better, right?
Yeah,
That's very consistent with the league. That's very consistent with football. And so because of that, I think that a lot of times you get in a situation where it's not you can't replicate it. I was going to say replicatable. I don't think that's a word.
Replicatable.
Is that
you say it different? It makes sense.
That one, replicatable. Somebody look that up. That sounds like that has to be a word.
I just got to say it differently.
Replicatable.
I have no idea.
Replicable.
Oh, there it is. I have no idea what I said. I'll be
able
honest.
to be copied or reproduced. Replicable.
Okay,
hey, we learning on this month.
All right. Oh boy.
Or is that
replicable? A stab in the wind?
Replicable. Oh, it's replicable. Okay. All right. Yeah, whatever. It is.
Yeah.
I don't know what you just
Hey, Joe said word of the day.
Hey, you ain't lying, dog. I don't know what the heck that was. But a lot of times you can't replicate it because it's more of an energy pop. And that energy does not sustain throughout the rest of the season. That energy does not sustain from game to game. When you get down in a game, you're not able to find that energy, things like that. What we saw yesterday was an offensive coordinator who just did simple better. Who literally was just like, hey, make sure you take that check down. Make sure you take that quick out. Make sure if you don't see it down the field, you're immediately getting your eyes back down. Make sure that if it's not there, you're not chained in the pocket, sitting there patting the football for 5 seconds, causing a holding call. Take off. Use those legs. Scamper. He's more of a scamperer than a runner.
He did scamper.
It's kind of a
like something's on fire.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Fields was running. Yeah. Caleb Williams kind of scampers a little bit. It's a little, but just doing those simple things throughout the game gave you the confidence to go out and make the plays you needed to make at the end of the game. And I think that is something that you can continue to do. That is something that is replicable.
That
That's not a word I've used a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Put that in there.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You're like replicable.
Yeah,
I would assume it's like
it's
that.
definitely replicable, but I love the fact that
here's the wild part. I know I've heard this word before, and I'm literally just like, why does this sound foreign? Why have I never said this in my life?
It's like only 5 times we've used it in a sentence ever. No, man, I'm right there with you, man. Thomas Brown definitely, going into this game, going up against especially Green Bay, it was a lot of pressure. A lot of people felt like, okay, even though the team is behind you, you're hearing all these right things. Everybody's saying, oh yeah, this is a guy that, his voice, it resonates in the locker room. He's very direct. He's aggressive. He means what he says. He gives attention to the details. We love him. We backing him. You still wanted to see, okay, how does it look on the field? Is this going to look any better than the last 3 games? Or are we just kind of just kumbaya in this and it still sucks? No, Thomas Brown came out and showed you exactly what simple looks like when it's done better. I mean, you had a dominant run game. I want to say 29 or 28 carries for 165 total yards. The ball was out very quickly. I believe Caleb Williams had his quickest throwing the ball away or throwing the ball to receivers this season. I believe it was under 2 seconds, I read somewhere. So, you're talking about him adjusting to the fact that not only did he have good protection, but the fact that, hey, even though your protection isn't always the greatest, you get it out quicker. So that means that you're creating quicker routes, quicker plays, a lot of pre-snap motion to get the defense off balance as well. And a lot of easy completions for Caleb, which gets you his confidence up, which gets you to continue to make the plays down the field, the check downs. We saw all of those things. We saw the screen plays, my goodness, work over and over again because you utilize the right players and use the right personnel. Braxton Jones is knocking people over. I mean, thank goodness they did it and it looked the right way.
Yeah, they got him back, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But it was just good to see. It was refreshing to see. Now the thing is, okay, now we're coming off of a high of how good the OC looked in this game. Yes, we lost, but can he replicate it? Can he match that same energy and match that same game plan going forward? That's what I want to see. Yes, we're on a high because, as you said, everybody's going to be playing their hardest for the new guy, and it's a new feeling. It's something different. Yes, Shane's out, the new guy's in. Now let's see if going forward he can be competent again. He can do simple better and better and more and more and more until the end of the season. Now we're talking about, hey, do you retain him as OC? Do you even bump him up to HC, as I've even said before in a dream scenario? Keep things consistent. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's and I'm not. I see that rhetoric already going around. It's like, can we get 2 games of this before we make him an offensive coordinator, or make him the head coach of the team. Yeah, I mean, but I do think that you have to have the conversation on the fact that to me, going into next week, it doesn't feel like that was a one-time thing. It doesn't feel like, and a lot of times it does, right? Like, even I give credit to what just happened with the Saints, being able to get their second win in that situation, because a lot of times you don't see that. A lot of times you don't see the guy be able to come back and get another win. A lot of times you don't see the guy be able to come back and keep that energy in the team, right? Like, it doesn't happen that way. And it's usually because you don't have a good enough system. You don't have a good enough, your talent on the team isn't at that level.
Right.
This to me was just like, no, we've always had the talent. We've always had the ability to do this. We've always had the ability to go out there and make plays. We've always had the ability to go out there and get the ball to our playmakers. We just didn't. You can't tell me that it's magic that from one game to the next, you go from versus a better defense, by the way, versus the best defense you played this season. You go from getting the football. And let me double check this versus New England. You go from getting the football to Keenan Allen 5 times for 44 yards, DJ Moore 3 times for 24 yards, Rome Odunze 3 times for 23 yards, to then getting the football to your receivers. DJ Moore 7 times for 62 yards. Rome Odunze 6 times for 65 yards. Keenan Allen 4 times for 41 yards. Cole Kmet 3 times for 42 yards.
Yeah, well-rounded. Yeah.
That's something where, and you look at how he got it to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, you look at how he got on the ball. It was literally just, there were times where it's the deep pass. There were times where it's the, the beautiful pass that he gets over to Keenan Allen at the end of the game. But for the most part, it was very simple passes.
Yeah.
It was very simple plays. Heck, DeAndre Swift getting involved. I mean, listen, the one run makes it look very big. Like, I'm not.
We had a couple good ones. You give him his respect now.
14 for 71, 5.1 yard average. I was upset all day at this point.
I agree. He did have a mediocre day before that run.
DeAndre Swift. I watched that game. You were 8 carries for 13 yards, 1.6 yards per carry. You can't fool me. Hey, man, get out of here. I'm sick of it.
Pat wants every running back to average 8 yards per carry. Otherwise, you won't get $3 million.
4? You get paid $8 million. I can't get 4 out of you. Come on, dog. Give me 3-5 at least. 3-5. If I give you the ball 3 times, that means that's a first down.
Hey, that's why they always say you got to give running backs more carries, man. They got to get lathered up. They got to get into the game, man.
This man had carries. Yeah, he had 14. That's not a lot of carries. He had 14 carries. Roshan had 10. Good split. 14 carries for him. Roshan had 10. I thought that was a good split. I love the way, even that though, I love the way that he implemented using Roshan Johnson. I love the way that he was, there were times where it's like, Roshan, this is your drive. DeAndre Swift needs a blow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing a lot here. We trying to figure some things out. He just had a big run, big catch, whatever it is. Hey, this is your drive here. You go out here, you handle it. And Roshan was able to handle it. Even things like that.
Yeah.
To me, that is just doing it simple. You have 2 running backs for a reason. Utilize them.
Use them. Yep, exactly.
Paul, the super chat, he said, I saw improvement, but it's crazy that we still have a hard time getting touchdowns, especially Caleb throwing.
Yeah.
You know what, though? Caleb Williams said this yesterday on the radio, so I would say a chunk of people probably didn't hear it because more people are watching on the TV side. But he talked about this in his interview with Jason McKee after the game. And what he said was, J-Mac asked him, what have you learned now 10 games into the NFL? And he said, the possessions are important. And I think that's something that you didn't have early on. And also, I think Thomas Brown shows up day one. And this dude's like, all of a sudden, it's like Caleb gets NFL football. But he said the possessions are important. And you don't get nearly as many. The Bears only had 7 drives in this whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me make sure I'm not wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, no, wait, I'm tweaking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bears had 7 possessions this whole game.
Yeah, I know they ran 68 plays. I do know that much. So 7 drives. You got to utilize all of them.
You scored on 3 of them. 4 of them? Scored on 4 of them.
Yeah, so you had the field goal, then you had the touchdown.
The two rushing touchdowns. You had a field goal, 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
But like you didn't have a ton of bites at the apple in this one.
Yeah.
You just didn't. Because the Packers had long drives as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you look through this, Packers' first drive was elapsed. Jesus Christ, is this facts? Or is it, that's the final drive? My bad. I mean, Packers' first drive took 3 minutes 45 seconds. Your drive took 7 minutes and 6 seconds. Your next drive took 14 minutes and 53 seconds. Your next drive took 4 minutes and 39 seconds. The Packers' next drive took 8 minutes and 26 seconds. Like there wasn't a lot of time. Like you were going on long drives.
Yeah, no,
and Bears, so in game situations like that, yeah, maybe Caleb doesn't throw a touchdown, but you're also not trying to sit there and fly down the field and run up the score when you have a brand new offensive coordinator in there.
Yeah, my thing is, what did you see still from him? Yeah, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Still continue to make sure that he didn't lose the game for the team. So at the same time, you could say maybe he was a game manager, but I mean, in those moments where it mattered the most, you saw what he was capable of. Now, it's not his fault that Matt took the ball out of his hands at the end of the game where maybe he could have thrown a touchdown or went for the end zone.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be. We know that when the Bears eventually or whenever they get in the red zone, they're a very good team. But those opportunities sometimes are few and far between, sometimes from game to game. And so, obviously we would love to see more touchdowns, but I love how Caleb himself puts things into perspective. And you saying that, the possessions matter. That's one thing he's starting to learn. And you look at all up and down the stats for the team. I mean, the Bears dominated a lot of the important stats. They dominated the
It's
turnovers.
impressive that they've lost this game. They found a way to lose.
Dude, it was crazy.
This is your culture. If you want to know, let me hit you with this.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears. Let me go team stats here. Chicago Bears dominated time of possession, 36-23. Yep. Dominated.
Yep.
36-23. The Chicago Bears technically won. It only goes down as 1-0 because of the interception for the turnover battle.
Smith,
remember, you got a turnover on downs in the red zone.
Yep. They were moving.
Technically, you won the turnover battle 2-0.
Yeah.
You outgained them 391-366. You lost the game. Which stat there indicated losing the game?
None. There should be a stat said football gods. There's this football god stat that's not in there. It says,
and it literally just says, "We hate you.
We hate you."
Okay, all right, I get it. I understand. Goodness. But nah, man, like you did literally everything you needed to do to win this game, and you didn't. And that to me comes down to your coaching. That's why I look at your head coach and go, he's probably not the guy.
Yeah.
Jason Robinson with the super chat said, I liked that Brown stuck with Roschon in obvious situations instead of trying to be deceptive when it's not necessary. Oh, there was some deception though. But the deception was, I'm going to either hand this football off to Roschon or Caleb's going to keep it and run to the left. It's a quarterback read, football.
Which actually worked a few times when they needed the yard to gain. But yeah, and even with the smaller yards per carry for Roschon, he did what he needed to do. Like, you use him in those moments where you need 1 or 2 yards to keep the chains moving, where you have him in the red zone, and he got that touchdown. He probably got it the first time, if we're being honest, but he definitely got it the second time. So that's what you're looking for. Like you said, a even tandem and a balanced tandem. I love, this is another one of my favorite stats: third down efficiency and fourth down efficiency. Two stats that we're horrible at. And by the way, we don't even usually go for forward on fourth. Third down efficiency, this game was 9 for 16. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Fourth down efficiency, 3 for 3. Every time we needed to get a completion, every time we needed to get the ball down the field, it happened. And that's what you build off of.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%.